Hi everybody, Jennifer here. It's August the 28th, 2020, and this is the day 4 reading of Blossom Goodchild's channeled book, The Bridge. On the other hand, this freedom of choice was a new concept. One had not allowed the possibility of destruction to be part of the scheme, self-destruction at that. It was not considered to be a natural way. It was only when the downpour of thoughts of the self entered that the game, to begin with, started to play. Those who were the creators at first found this terribly interesting. The mind had found itself and was therefore ready to grow in any direction the soul self chose. For many decades of your time, all progressed as it should, and they were pleased with their creation. If you knew, which you do, of the world as it was when it began, your eyes would light up with the very remembrance. It was as it was intended. Thoughts were transferred to another, thoughts of kindness and giving, consideration and acceptance, all things that were directly from love. The individuality became apparent as souls developed their own personalities through this freedom, through this free choice. This again brought much excitement. The beauty of the individual was astonishing. The interaction through the separateness was a gift that was to be recognized as a true conquest. With all the thoughts and ways of each individual coming into its own, what mammoth achievements could unfold. As time passed, the self-awareness increased rapidly. One developed skills that suited their needs and desires. It was discovered that one gift could be shared to assist another, and another, and another. The swapping or exchanging of these gifts became a way of life, all done to assist the other. As skills developed further, so too the mind developed. But more importantly, the individual soul. When this was in play, there was no jealousy. It was not known. One admired and praised the skills of another, gave thanks and appreciation. All was still as the original intention. The power of love as it had begun was very much the overall factor. Now it came about after a stretch of time, and in your terms, this was quite a way down the track, that the more developed individuality, as it learned to think of itself, the more the thoughts of the self developed in a way that had not been expected. For never before had the separateness game been put into play. One began to look at another's skills that were perhaps the same as its own, and whoop, there came insecurity. One discovered fear of the self, afraid that they were not doing as well as another, not developing so fast, and through that came jealousy. Through that came thoughts that so far had not been present. Through these unusual thoughts that one allowed themselves to expand upon, the soul self gradually brought about for itself the fear of not being as good as. This was of great interest to the creators. Not being directly in the position themselves, they were unable to feel this feeling, and it was intriguing. From being in a different position and not directly in it, they watched on with deep curiosity. This was so new, this fear of the self, and the doubting that one was not as good as another. It amused them because they could not understand how one could feel this way when not so very long before each individual soul was of the same essence, and they knew this. How could they doubt the very essence of that essence? They were at the beginning the same. They were identical in love. No one soul was given more love than another, for love was who they were. Just a moment, I seem to have lost my dog. There you are. Good job. Thank you, Bonnie. So love was all they were. It was discussed and pondered upon, this new emotion, this fear. The creators could not understand it, and yet, although of interest, it was of great poignancy so early on in the game. The negativity of this new emotion had brought yet another new concept into the equation, that of self-doubt. This had never been known. To question their essence and to even consider that they were not perfect was not in the present realm of knowledge. Yet, certain rules had been put into play at the start, and they could not be changed. Little did they know how this one emotion could change the course of all time. Was it a spanner in the works? They were unable to realize the extent to which it could develop. They thought it was just a small glitch, and that those who had not allowed fear to enter would be able to put those who had back to their original form by assisting them and helping them to remember who they were and where they came from. They had not imagined how quickly this fear had taken root inside the hearts of these individuals. That's it for today. Well, that's it for right now. I'm going to do another one in a moment because I missed yesterday. Blossom Goodchild's work is available through book form on her website as well. Her channelings with the Federation of Light, the Divine One Source, and White Cloud. Her website is www.blossomgoodchild.com. And she's also on YouTube, channeling both the Federation of Light and the spirit known as White Cloud. Okay? I'll see you in a little while.